Irish guy, right? So we've all seen how I got on in my Premier League predicted table this season, right? I got 3 right. Brighton, Liverpool, and Man City. That's it. And even the blind ducks in the pond across the road, even they could predict City would win the league. Yes, I am proud of my Brighton prediction, but lads, last summer I also produced another table where I did it by putting my stupid cap on. I saw what people were saying on social media about who would finish where, and so I did a table of impossible predictions, putting teams in positions they would definitely not finish in. For example, people were thinking Burnley would finish bottom last summer. Not me. I thought you were stupid for believing so. But lads, when I published this ironic video in August, oh, these comments, they worried me.
Can't wait for these to do better than his actual ones. It's gonna be hilarious if the table ends up more correct than his actual predictions.
Oh dear, I hope not. Right, let's go.
20th Burnley. Do it. I dare you. Look me in the eyeball and tell me that you think that Burnley will finish rock bottom of the league. It will be akin to telling me that you actually believe that your mum is Britney Spears. I back Burnley so much that hearing any rambling nonsense from anybody that thinks the Vincent Company squad will finish the 20th in May, again, I would think that you were also the type of intellectual slug who used their own bedsheets as toilet paper. No chance to Burnley finish bottom. Burnley are on a journey under Company. They are on a quest. And so if they do just finish bottom of the league, I will eat moldy fish and chips while sitting in a freezing lake.
Oh, thanks, Burnley. Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, because now I do look like I've got dead slugs between the ears, when really it's just copious amounts of earwax. Here I was thinking that it was stupid for Burnley to finish bottom, and that if you actually believe that was going to happen to an apparently elite coach like Vincent Company, then you probably also believe that there's flying leprechauns in the sky. That you probably also believe you're going to find zombie teeth in every 4th box of Cocoa Pops. I was gassing Burnley up, thinking it was far-fetched to think they would go down. Sorry? Huh? Yes, I thought Company was a talented coach, and I still do. But I did not appreciate what an untalented bunch of fat bunny rabbits were residing in this Burnley squad. Lads, Marcelo Bielsa is a talented coach. Pep Guardiola probably has a photo of him on his bedroom wall. And yet, even he was on his way to relegation with a bunch of useless players a couple of years ago. Look, Burnley didn't finish bottom, so I have avoided a fish and chip date in a frozen lake. For that, I probably owe Chris Wilder a hug, because Burnley's 24 points is usually pathetic enough to finish bottom any other year. But yeah, this is not a good start.
19th Bournemouth. I know, there will be some bitter pundits out there who are still crying for Gary O'Neill. And anyone who thinks that without O'Neill, this entire squad will just look like a helpless bunch of puppies who've just been tossed into the toilet of a giant. Oh, no. I think over the next 3 years, Bournemouth will have more chance of sneaking their way into the Europa Conference League than they will have of being relegated. And if you do actually believe that they are going down, then please ask your mum to hide the scissors in the house.
Whoa! Yes. I am so proud of this one. As people thought Bournemouth would go down. Gary Neville said the Cherries would get relegated. And he's supposed to be an expert. Clearly I can see why he spectacularly failed in La Liga. He's got no clue about Spanish coaches. Look, I think people wanted Bournemouth to go down to punish them for sacking lovable old Gary O'Neill. Yeah. People wanted that for Newcastle as well when they got rid of the lovely Chris Hughton. Nobody wants to acknowledge it, but his replacement wound up getting Newcastle to a European quarter-final. And I think Iriola is going to do that too. Everybody hoped the Cherries would implode, and it was no less than they deserved, right? People thought replacing O'Neill with Iriola was about as clever as trying to gatecrash a Lord of the Rings convention at Comic-Con and trying to bite off Andy Serkis's nose. Yeah, sorry, but you're going to nerd prison. Bournemouth did not win the first 9 league games, so I did sort of sweat this one at the start. But lads, they have finished above O'Neill in 12th.
Take that, Wolves!
Iriola is the real deal.
18th Everton. Look, I might be being overly confident on Everton's behalf here. Maybe. I realise that, but a lot of people think that Everton are going down. But Sean Dyche is a survival expert. Those who think Everton are going down aren't putting enough respect on Sean's name. I think there's more chance of him choking to death on a sausage roll in May than there is of him finishing inside the bottom 3.
This is music to my ears. As I am somebody who was punished for my optimism about Everton's survival chances. I've had what? 10 milk showers this season alone because the Toffees kept dipping their toes in the relegation zone. Honestly, to this day, my skin still stinks of undigested Weetabix. I'm scared of going to the dentist for fear that the guy is going to be questioning why I've suddenly made his office smell like urine-smelling cornflakes. But too many people were giddy at the thought of the Toffees potentially going down, especially when they're given a 10-point deduction. Social media was dancing at their funeral. That was the nail in the coffin, right? So many people thought,
no chance will they survive survive.
But to me, this is arguably a bigger achievement than when he took Burnley into Europe, because give them their 8 points back. And this Everton team are close to finishing above everybody's delicious favourite Brighton.
17th Sheffield United. If anybody out there actually believes that Paul Heckingbottom, a failed Hibernian and Leeds United coach, if anybody actually believes he has the ability to keep Sheffield United in the Premier League, again, there's more chance of this guy eloping with a mermaid and growing a second head. Their 2024 relegation is about as inevitable as there being another 10 Spider-Man films.
Yep, although, was there anyone out there who truly believed that Sheffield United would stay up? Every single Sheffield United defender who contributed to the concession of over 100 goals, if I were them, I would seriously consider sacking off next pre-season and to instead start handing out CVs down your local Dobby's Garden Centre, because clearly football ain't for you. I, for one, reckon Mason Holgate would be fantastic at selling flower pots to lonely old men with bladder issues.
16th Brentford. The easy thing that I know a lot of you will do is say that without Ivan Toney for 6 months, Brentford will wind up in a relegation scrap, but they won't. Losing a 20-goal-a-season England international centre forward to a mid-table club isn't actually as damaging as it looks. Brentford will be fine.
So let me get this straight. I said that stupid people believe Brentford will finish 16th. Now, people thinking the Bees would have a massive drop-off in form after losing the talisman Ivan Toney for the first half of the season. I thought the people who thought that had scrambled egg for brains. I thought they're about as clever as anyone who thinks that snowmen are real. Yeah, guess what? Brentford did finish 16th. That's exactly what happened. Thomas Frank's boys have been largely dreadful all year long. Why? Why did I think only stupid people thought that they would wind up 16th? Why? This one is so terrible. What was I thinking? Clearly, I don't understand the Bees.
15th Nottingham Forest. Steve Cooper is a decent manager, yes. Despite looking like someone who probably didn't have his first kiss until he was 37. They'll be relegated, and so for anyone predicting survival. Yeah, I bet you also predict that cheerleaders will survive in horror films.
Yeah, I said Nottingham Forest would go down, and that if you predicted them to stay up, then you're about as clever as somebody who chooses to watch Superbad with his mum. Okay, that was me. I did that once. I haven't been able to look her in the eye properly since. I'd probably rather the both of us have just instead watched a videotape of me squatting on the toilet whilst kissing a teddy bear. That would have been marginally less awkward. But yeah, Forest did survive. Thankfully, they did not finish as high as 15th. Otherwise, I would look like somebody who licks lampposts and who fills his underpants with lasagna every morning. I only do that on Tuesdays, thankfully. But they finished 17th and not 15th, so I don't look like a complete Neanderthal, right?
14th Tottenham. They've had a pretty boring transfer window. They've just hired some bloke from Scotland and now could be losing Harry Kane to Germany. Cue the overreaction. Some people think that Tottenham are the new Chelsea, the latest top 6 club about to embarrass themselves with finishing inside the bottom half. Because apparently trying to imagine Tottenham without Kane is such an ugly, horrible sight, right? Lads, no, there is life after Harry Kane. Postecoglou is an excellent coach. A lot of people will try and pretend that his tactics belong in an episode of Neighbours, right? Well, no, he's class, and Spurs will be fine.
Yeah, lads, don't underestimate just how many people thought that Tottenham, without Harry Kane, would finish in the bottom half of the league. Paul Merson proudly said it on Sky with chest. And yes, that was enough proof for me that he has got the intelligence of a dead pig. Tipping Spurs to finish bottom half without Kane was so wildly simplistic. The people who thought that should have been forced to tattoo
I know nothing about Scottish or Japanese football
on their forehead because they'd clearly no idea who Big Ange was. To be fair, I don't watch Scottish football outside of the Old Firm, and I've got about as much interest in the J-League as I do in my grandmother's bowel movements. But even I knew that Postecoglou was a brilliant coach and that Spurs would indeed be fine. They've just finished 5th in the league without Kane, whilst Bayern Munich with Kane have just finished 3rd in the Bundesliga. So can everybody please relax?
13th Luton Town. Okay, listen, I want Luton Town to do well too, and I almost respect those who are predicting them for a massive shock season. But I am telling you, look at this Luton squad. Over a 38-game season, it is physically impossible for them to finish anywhere above 16th. But if you think they'll finish as high as 13th, seek professional help.
Yeah, did anyone at all really believe that Luton would finish 13th? I don't think there was one. Not a single person on the planet. And I'm thankful for that, because if I bumped into someone in the street who told me that they hardly believe that Luton would finish 13th, I'm sorry, but I'm also assuming they've got their mum's head stored in their fridge. I'm suddenly backing away from this lunatic in case they choose to bite off a chunk of my hair. Yeah, Luton finished nowhere near 13th.
Well, Chelsea. Look, there will be people out there who expect another rotten season from Chelsea. I know there will be. There will be people who don't like Pochettino. I just know some fans who think that Chelsea will once again finish 12th. If you do believe that nonsense, then no. Put some respect on Pochettino's name.
Again, yes. Lads, so many people at the start of the season, and even during the season, thought that Chelsea were nailed on to finish in the bottom half of the league again. Speak to some people about Chelsea in late 2023, and they would tell you that Pochettino has made no improvements on the vegan mess created by Graham Potter, and I think that has exposed some Fruit Loops in the fan base. I'm sorry, but you know who you are. These people who wrote off Pochettino are being exposed for being about as clever as Snake Sick. Come on, Chelsea just polished off the season with 5 wins in a row. They are in an excellent spot. They just finished 6th and clawed back European football. So for all of you who thought 12th shame on you.
11th Fulham. Look, this isn't the worst one. If you think Fulham will finish 11th, then that's fine. It's going to be a rocky season for Fulham, not more of the same.
Was it a rocky season for Fulham? Nah, not really. I said you'd be stupid for predicting them to finish 11th. They finished 13th, 1 point off 11th. If they had just one more point on the board, then I would look stupid for calling you stupid for thinking they finished 11th.
10th Wolves. You're delusional, I'm sorry, but you are. If you think Julian Lopetegui is getting this club to finish inside the top half, then you're probably about as stupid as the grandmother of Red Riding Hood, because she was also fooled by Wolves. I think they'll finish bottom. If Lopetegui does finish inside the top half in May 2024, I will get a tattoo of his face on my neck.
Okay, Julian Lopetegui never came close to finishing in the top half because he wasn't there. He decided, nah, I'm good. Back in August, quit Wolves and just hung around for 10 more months, waiting for West Ham to give him a phone call. Really? That was his great master plan? You might as well have just stayed at Wolves. But listen, Guy O'Neill's got them to 14th, okay? It's still not 10th.
9th Crystal Palace. I don't know. Maybe some people will think that the steady old Roy Hodgson might help Crystal Palace finish as high as 9th in the Premier League. Some Palace fans might be eyeing up a top half finish. But I mean, this club haven't finished inside the top 10 since 2015. I'm sorry, but if anybody out there actually thinks that somebody who probably eats nothing but baby food and soup is masterminding a top half finish with a Zaha-less Palace, no, if that actually does happen, I'll go and live in a box in Turkey for a week.
Oh, no. Stop talking now. I'm so happy that I clarified that if Roy Hodgson gets Crystal Palace to finish top half, then I will live in a box in Turkey for a week. Because if I had not made that distinction, then I would be mentally preparing myself to have angry butchers in Istanbul spitting at me whilst I begged for leftover sausages outside their shop under Oliver Glasner. Do you know how unlikely it was when Roy Hodgson was sacked? Do you know how unlikely it was for relegation threatened Palace to then finish top half? They would have had to embark on a monthly level of title winning 4 to even sneak 10th, and they did. So I said that people were stupid for thinking Palace would finish top half. Nah, I guess I'm the one with a cabbage for a brain.
8th West Ham. West Ham are European champions. Sort of. And so quite a few optimistic West Ham fans might think that despite losing their captain 2 summers in a row, that they'll be spurred on by that Europa Conference League win and get back to the days of David Moyes helping them finish inside the top 8. That last season was just a fluke. No chance. It's going to be another mess.
So, anyone who thought that West Ham would finish 8th was stupid, right? They finished 9th.
7th Man United. Not a lot, but I bet some people out there think that Man United are on a downward slope and that they'll do something stupid like fail to finish inside the top 6. There will be some people out there who I guarantee you, the amount of people who think that Mason Mount is about as talented as a squash blueberry pie, it's almost embarrassing. But I'm telling you, he is absolutely top class. You just know some people read way too much into the dodgy pre-season, where newbies and goalies are bullying Harry Maguire. Some will conclude that Eric Ten Hag really is just Humpty Dumpty on a diet, and someone will probably predict him to wind up finishing 7th, but you're absolutely wrong.
Are you for real? In my stupid video, I have Crystal Palace, West Ham, and Manchester United all finishing in the top half in a row, in that order. And I said anybody who believed that would happen was stupid. Crystal Palace, West Ham, Manchester United, in that order. I know I sound like a creepy Gareth Bale impersonator, but what? I said that wouldn't happen, and it did. It just did. They all finished the season in a row, one on top of the other. Palace 10th, West Ham 9th, and Man United 8th. I thought that the people who thought that Manchester United were on a downward slope, now that they'd signed Onana, I thought you were reactionary puppies with the brains of vanilla ice cream. I was gassing up Mason Mount, saying that he would have an extraordinary year. Yeah, extraordinarily anonymous. Look, to everybody who thought that Man United would finish outside the top 6 last year, I thought they finished 2nd.
6th Liverpool. Similarly, some people will see Liverpool taking another huge step backwards this season. But no, Liverpool are finishing minimum top 5, but probably top 4.
Well, yeah, at least I was right about this. They finished 3rd, so thank you, Liverpool. Maybe I don't have complete shreddies between the ears, right?
5th Brighton. Some people are obsessed with Brighton and Hove Albion. They've slowly gone from being a hipster's dream to now, annoyingly, very mainstream. If you actually think that this Brighton squad will be able to cope with European football and once again finish inside the top 6, no chance. Like literally 0.
Yes. Lads, I was completely right about Brighton in my normal predictions video. I said they'd finish 11th, and they did. I think I was the only person in the world who tipped them to finish that low because everyone else was in love with Brighton and Hove Albion. They were bewitched by the club, under their spell. You all thought they were fantastic, a breath of fresh air. A top half staple here to stay for many years to come. Now, they're now bottom half sludge again.
4th Aston Villa. Can Aston Villa qualify for the Champions League? No. Next, I think people might think too highly of him and expect too much because anyone who thinks that Aston Villa will finish inside the Champions League spots, there will be some people deluded into believing that. But if that happens, I will do an entire video buried up to my eyeballs in snow.
I don't know what to say. This is the worst prediction in the whole list. Look, I thought it was insane that people were tipping Aston Villa to finish in the Champions League spots last year. I thought it was just a stupidly wacky thing for people to say who thought they were clever. Now, Aston Villa did finish 4th. And well, do you see any snow anywhere? Lads, I live in Newcastle. It'll be snowing this winter. So don't worry, the video is coming then. Why did Villa have to finish 4th? This is one of my worst ever predictions.
3rd Man City. Please tell me there aren't actually people who believe Man City will finish 3rd. I actually think it is impossible for the City squad to finish any lower than the top 2.
Yeah, pretty much.
2nd, Newcastle. There will be. I know there will be. Newcastle fans, get excited. Why not be best of the rest? And 2nd behind City. Ignoring that they have Dan Burn at left back.
Yeah, I don't know how many people thought that Newcastle would actually compete for the title with Dan Burn at left back.
1st, Arsenal. They won't.
Look, I got this one right in the end, but I feel bad for mocking people, telling them that they were stupid for believing they would win the league. No, Arsenal only lost the title by 2 points. If they had just beaten Aston Villa at home, then they would have won the league, and I wouldn't be waiting for it to snow in Newcastle. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know, how bad did I do? I still can't get over the Aston Villa one. That is, why did I, that and the Brentford one and the Palace, West Ham, and Man United in a row. That you cannot write that. It's an absolute farce. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe as always. Talk in a while.